You can. I'll be done in a minute. Yeah, he's quick. One thing, Danny, we normally time. We got the timer out. Click. We're doing a minute now.
So you want to do it now? Or
yeah, we can. It's good. Yeah, it's good. We always do. Yeah, it's cool.
How are you feeling 10 days out before this fight?
I'm feeling on schedule. This is about the time that I normally feel the way I feel. A little bit more anxious than last time because I think that just by coming back so quickly from the last fight, I haven't had that in my career for a long time until Jean Pascal called me out December, May of last year. So to be coming back so early in the ring again without a 9-month gap, 16-month gap. So to me, it's good. To me, it's good. I picked off where I left off at. So as far as I'm concerned, this is like I'm starting from the 12th round until the fight ends.
So why are you doing that? Another former champion with a very little break in between.
Another former champion. Who are Pascal?
No,
Dawson.
Chad Dawson. Yeah. I mean, you continue to fight these guys who are
young guys.
Yeah.
I chose to continue to fight to defend what I worked so hard to get. That is the title. And also to prove that any history book in boxing that anybody have or produce in the near future is going to have to come up with another word, iconic or icon or whatever they want to come up with, because we're good in giving titles to special things that happens in sports. And so why not get all of the benefits of what I've been doing for 20-something years, and then when it's time to walk away, I can walk away and say that I'm satisfied that I've achieved everything that I achieved, and sit back through the rest of the half of my life and watch the younger athletes or younger fighters try to either match or break what I've set in stone for many years to stand. I think that's very important for any sport or any athlete in any way to try to establish their legacy if they can, and be the best, and then let it last to a point where they can sit back after their careers are over with and watch their name being mentioned 10, 15 years from now. That really would be gratifying to me and happy for me to sit back in my 60s and hear commentators saying, hey, this guy is 4 fights away from beating Bernard Hopkins' record. Can you imagine when you stop fighting, things die down for most athletes? When you stop playing football, basketball, hockey, golf, things slow down. They're not talking about you as much as they talk about you before. So I realized that if I can set a profound legacy and make a statement to the point where they can talk and will be talking about me like I was fighting then, how many athletes can do that? How many athletes can establish that type of work, put that work in, where 10, 15, 20, 30 years from now, you're talking about breaking Bernard Hopkins' record at 45 years old. In today's world where, unfortunately, most athletes, they either don't stay as focused long enough after they get a taste of what we call success in life, or just run into the wrong night, the wrong match, the wrong person. So I'm going to have fun on the second half of my life, which I won't be doing this, to be able to sit back and watch the story, the movie.
Chad Dawson says he's going to come out throwing a lot of punches, Bernard. How do you handle that? How do you make him fight at your pace?
Well, Chad Dawson said something that makes sense. He's going to be throwing a lot of punches, but I'm going to be connecting a lot of punches. He can throw all the punches he wants, but I'm going to be connecting more than he throw. And I think at the end, you can't throw punches if you're on your back and you feel that you're throwing punches and I'm connecting. So if he think that he's going to throw punches and he somehow is going to win on the scorecards, he's letting people know that he's going to throw more punches, so he should win a decision. I'm saying that I haven't had a knockout since beating Oscar De La Hoya with the left hook to the liver in 2004. I'm coming in there with aggressive game, but a smart game. And if people think that the last 2 fights of my career was the old Bernard Hopkins from the Blue Horizon to Atlantic City old days in the early 90s, then I'm saying that they should watch this fight, whether they watch it the night of or whether they watch it a week before. The bottom line is they're going to see a better, a more aggressive but smart fighter in there when I beat Chad Dawson. He's bigger, he's taller, he's a bigger target for me, and I love that because the smaller guys, you normally got to punch over and then get under your shots. But Chad Dawson is a guy that stands stationary right there for you. You ain't gonna have to find him, and that's the style I love. I love that type of style. Remind me of the Pavlik style, sort of, you know. They look to punch down, I look to punch up.
Nazim said that of all the young, especially light heavyweights, he may be the most technically sound. Do you agree?
No. Because I look at it like this, is that when you say technically sound, I look at a guy that's technically sound and experiences the Antonio Tarver. I mean, Antonio Tarver is technically sound with experience in championship under his resume. When I look at a fight, I look at 2 things. It's like going for a job interview. You can say all you can say, you can be dressed sharp, you can even smell good. But at the end of the day, it's your resume to get there first. Your resume dictates whether I should hire you or not, and then the presence of who you are and what you say makes it a lot better. But the credibility comes in what? The resume. Now, what is his resume compared to mine? Look at who he fought. Look at who I fought. Look at the guys he beat. Look at the guys that I beat. The guys that he beat, I beat first. He fought Glenn Johnson. I knocked Glenn Johnson out when he was 29 or 30-0, and he was 25 years old. He went the distance with Glenn Johnson when Glenn Johnson was 30-something, almost 40 years old, with about 15 losses. So when you look at my resume, compared to what his resume looks like, you must say and must agree that my resume is a Ferrari and his is a Mercedes. And so when you do that, you'll be able to say, wait a minute. We can't be too quick to say if a guy is fundamental sound, a guy is the more technical, the more this, the more that. I fought every style and named the boxing in my 20-something years. I've seen it all. And that separates my IQ from his. My opinion. It's only my opinion. My IQ, it's just a different class. Do he bring something to the table? Yes, he brings a lot to the table. What do he bring to the table? Youth. And in history, youth has always prevailed, even in the job market. If you've been working on the job for 20 years, be aware, as a young person's ready to take it. Yeah, trust me, look over your shoulder, you'll see. They're getting him ready, or her ready. So it's part of the system, it's part of the thing. But every now and then, you know, you run into an old dog who just ain't gonna give up real easily. You know, there's always every decade or 20 years, you always get one old dog that just say, look, man, y'all normally right. Y'all are normally right, but this one here is this where the history is being made right here, and I love and I have fun doing it. I'm have fun doing it, and I'm have fun displaying what I did all my life, and that's showing people that you can do it, even though you're not at the age where people think that you should be doing it. And so I get a chance to prove again that through me, I'm gonna make it happen.
Bernard, speaking of old dogs who don't give up, speak a little about taking up the cause of Dewey Bozzella and having him fight on your undercard. How did that become a priority to you to hook up with him?
That's a good question. Dewey served 20-something years, falsely accused of something that he always claimed his innocence, and he was fortunate to, after many turn downs of petitions and things like that, going through the court system in New York City, he finally got a break and finally got a situation where somebody recognized the injustice that was done. And he never gave up. He never negotiated a release based on saying he was guilty. He had an opportunity, Eric, to say that he was guilty after doing 10 years and that he will walk out if he just say that he's guilty to this charge or that charge, knowing that he was going to face another 15, another 10 years that passed prior to that offer. How many men, how many people who've already have done 10 years in the penitentiary for something that you didn't do? Not somebody saying you did, you didn't do. You know you didn't do it. And you got an opportunity to get out after doing 10, risking that another witness can come up, some funny business can happen, and you can do another 15 or whatever years, and you could have walked out in 10 if you just said you did it. That took a lot of balls. That took a whole lot of balls to know that you're facing, and then you wind up waiting through the system another 10 years, another decade, and you still didn't fold. See, you can't manufacture that type of spirit, man. You can't see certain things, no matter how many questions or how many answers you get to the question, it's certain people, it's certain energy in people and drive in people that a lot of us will never understand. It's not because we're lack of who they are. It's just that you got certain athletes, political advocates, people that come across in so many years that stands apart from other people. It's so easy to be a regular person. But you step out of that being a regular person and become somebody of interest, that's when the pressure comes. When you become something and do something different, there is a price that you will pay. There will pay. There's a price. So he paid the price, but he also understood that if he had to be in jail for the rest of his life for something that he felt that and he know that he didn't do, he was willing to roll the dice on that. The least I can do is put him on my undercard. It's the least, Eric, I can do. I mean, and that's not enough. But to fulfill something that he was almost by a hairline margin was about to be cheated, not only out of that, but half of his life was stuck into a box that most people in this audience would have took the plea just to get the hell out of the hell. Just to get the hell out of hell. I might have took it too. So there are some innocent people in prison in America, and there are a lot of people that's guilty that's in there. Sometimes I wonder how many people we put to death that didn't do it for real. We'll never find that out. And if we do, we won't ever hear about it because it will open up a whole new can of worms. So at the end of the day, man, what Dewey did is beyond anything that I've done in the ring. It's beyond anything that I accomplished outside the ring in my personal life. Just staying out of the jail, just staying out of the system. When you faced with that, and you got a chance after doing a decade, and say, I didn't do it. Well, just sign and say you did it, you can get out of here. We don't want the heat. We don't, stuff getting too political. Well, I didn't do it. You can walk right out this door. You can eat your own ice cream. You can open your own refrigerator. You can do all you can, your freedom. No, I ain't doing it. And he wound up doing another 10? Are you fucking kidding me? And we got problems. You okay? I'd rather face 100 Chad Dawsons than face 2-3 days in that situation. Because I can deal with that. I can deal with that.
Bernard, you don't do anything without a purpose. You don't do anything without a purpose. You're looking to have Dawson see some gray in that beard.
There's a lot of gray in my beard. And You know, as the gray continue to keep coming, any dye commercial won't get me to be sponsoring them because I want the gray. I want all my gray to come in. I really want to be like a type of, change my name to maybe the Silver Fox or something. You know, I want the gray to come in. Some people think it's sexy, especially if I keep it real groomed, nice. And they say gray is wisdom. We all changing. I'm definitely changing. But I feel that when you have something that shows your maturity and your wisdom, why camouflage it? Society tells you, you see gray, go and paint it black so you can look young. Anything that nature says is supposed to happen at the right time, that is supposed to happen, I want it to happen, man. I don't want to go against anything that's script to do what it's supposed to do. Certain part of the year, the leaves turn different color. And then they fall. And then the tree is naked. And then certain part of the year, the tree blossoms. I don't go against, and won't ever go against what's supposed to happen. It's supposed to happen. And I take that not only in my personal life, I take that in just the way, if you look around and you have your eyes open and your mind ain't closed, every season is a reason that season it is what it is. And that's how it is. Same thing with life. We come from being a baby, we come from being taken care of till we take care of ourselves. And then we start taking care of ourselves, we take care of others. That's when you're older, you're married, you got a family. And then eventually your family gets bigger and they grow, they go to school, they go to college, they move off, they're in a house. Now you're sitting around your cane and things and change. That's a nature process. So I want my gray to be there. I want Chad Dawson to see I got gray hair. I want to look like his father. I could be his father. I'm not, but I could be. The age difference. So it's appropriate for me to look like I'm gray and to have gray because realistically, if you do the math, he could be my son. So I'm 46, he's 29. I had him early. And so if you really do the math and you do the gray, it all fits into the whole scheme of the professor, the knowledge, versus the good student who wants to be a great student. So he has to pass a test that the professor is going to give him, and that's when he earns his stripes. Now, of course, he's going to fail, but like any test, when you're young, you always get up, you fall off your bike, parents put you on a bike again, they tell you, the training wheels are off, so they tell you, put you on there, you got a little Band-Aid on you, you scrape your knee, you put you on a bike, and they helping you, and the next thing you know, they let the bike go, and then you pedaling and you're happy, and then you fall again. But it's a process. So I'm that parent that's going to be in that ring, that's going to have Chad saying, I'm going to not talk to him, but he's going to follow me, because he don't know he's following me, I'm going to have him follow me, and I'm going to set traps, and he's going to follow me, and he's going to come, and he's going to pay a price, and I'm going to actually physically show him how I'm letting him fight my fight when he's supposed to be fighting the fight that him and his trainer put together over the last weeks. And that takes an education that he haven't got there yet. He will eventually, hopefully.
Speaking of his trainer, I know at the beginning of the promotion you were kind of excited with you and Nazim maybe trying to match wits with Emmanuel, and now that situation isn't happening. What are your thoughts on him getting rid of Emmanuel and now going back to Scully?
I think really Emmanuel probably is still helping him, but I think Emmanuel is not there physically because of his schedule and maybe because whatever business they didn't accomplish. But I think realistically, I think Emmanuel is still giving him and Skelly some advice, but he's not in his corner. I would love to have been up there to be able to see Emmanuel Stewart, but to me, Skelly is Emmanuel Stewart. Skelly is a fighter that boxed, that know how it is to be in that ring, that had some success early on, especially he's comfortable with Chad Dawson. They start off early in their amateur days together. So it's somebody he's comfortable with, it's somebody that he's respect. And Emmanuel was trying to show him different things that he probably felt, who knows, that, wasn't clicking. But either way, with Emmanuel, without Emmanuel, I'm motivated based on representing a title that was hard-earned, and also it's going to stay here in Philadelphia around my waist where it belongs. So I don't care who is in this corner. The only person and the only thing that I think that at the end it's going to come down to the better fighter. The better fighter, the better person, the better strategy, and who wants it the most. That's what it's going to come down to. And I believe my resume outbeats his from IQ to the restoring record. But he's going to come. He's going to come because he's risky enough and he's young enough that he won't believe it until it happens. So that's what young people got to do. I mean, it's just part of the young. Part of being young is that they don't believe until it's in their face. That's how it is.